Hello! This video will be going over the ARG Iceberg. ARGs, or alternate reality games, are a form of storytelling that can be communicated through a variety of different medias or methods. Oftentimes, there are plot-based challenges and puzzles that can require entire communities to solve and progress throughout the story. Sometimes this can take years to solve or perhaps may never be solved. Between all the content creators and the viewers, countless hours have been committed to researching and preparing for these ARGs. So with that said, this iceberg will be broken up into multiple videos, so each entry can be given its own time. This video will feature the first two tiers of the iceberg, and I'll publish the following videos as soon as I can. So with that out of the way, let's dive in. Tier 1. Marble Hornets. This is a web series within the Slender Man mythos. The first video was posted June 20th, 2009. The story follows a young man, Jay, who attempts to discover what happened during the filming of an unfinished student film, Marble Hornets. Upon investigation, Jay discovers a sinister involvement with a being known as the Operator. We discover that this creature stalks people and things go as you'd expect a creepypasta to proceed. The story is quite elaborate, spanning over 3 seasons. There are 92 videos on the main channel with spin-offs and side channels that have developed over the years. This ARG's notoriety and public perception has waned over the years, but it's still a very popular entry, making it a great first entry in this video. Cicada 3301. This is a nickname given to an unknown source who posted a set of puzzles to recruit codebreakers from the general public and the internet at large. The first of these internet puzzles started on January 4th, 2012 on 4chan and lasted for almost a month. The second wave began 1 year later on January 4th, 2013, and then the third and final round following the confirmation of a fresh clue. From what we understand, the third puzzle has yet to be solved. The stated intention of Cicada 3301 was to recruit intelligent individuals by presenting a series of puzzles which were to be solved. The puzzles consist of data security, cryptography, steganography, and internet anonymity. It has been called the most elaborate and mysterious puzzle of the internet age. Many have speculated that the puzzles are a recruitment tool for the NSA, CIA, MI6, or just a Masonic conspiracy. Ben Drowned. This ARG began as a creepypasta set in an alternate reality with a popular cult known as the Moon Children. Ben was a boy that joined the group with promises of becoming like his childhood hero, Link. The ARG begins when an illegitimate game cartridge of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask was purchased by the writer, Jeduceable. There was said to be a spirit that was essentially haunting the cartridge and talking to Jeduceable via chatbots, communicating with him in his dreams, etc. Eventually the spirit escaped the game cartridge and appeared to have consumed someone else in the process. The writing in this ARG was captivating and included some very well-made footage of the game in question doing strange things. This is one of the most beloved ARGs of all time. It is considered the creator of many of the common tropes that can be seen throughout copypasta today. Happy Appy. This is a web series that was said to be airing on Nickelodeon as a children's show. The show was based on an apple on a stick that went on adventures, educated people, and helped kids with their injuries, though it had its own sick and twisted perception of things. The show was said to have aired a handful of times, but after parents complained about their kids seeing blood and gore, the show was said to have been canceled by Nickelodeon. However, the creator wanted to continue the creation of the show, even if it wasn't on a major network. This ARG is the continuation of that series after being fired from Nickelodeon. The ARG included some pretty horrific scenes where people are murdered and eventually removes himself from the situation. Catastrophe Crow 64. This is an ongoing ARG that has some impressive backstory development with planning and plot elements starting over a year before the official debut of the video that sparked the ARG. It involved an individual reviewing an unreleased game called Crow 64 that they managed to buy online. From here, the spiderweb just gets deeper and deeper with its own language and a number of various sister channels that were part of the plot. There has been an absolutely massive amount of research that has been done to try and solve the puzzles as well as the logic problems that are present within this game. MatPat did a better job than I could, so make sure you check the Game Theorist video on this. Nevertheless, this is an incredibly well-crafted ARG. SCP Foundation. Some people have pointed out that the SCP Foundation doesn't necessarily count as an ARG since it's not really a game, but I will go over it briefly either way as it's a pretty significant section of the internet that resides in a similar realm. The SCP Foundation is a fictional organization that collects and documents user-submitted stories revolving around the securing, containment, and protection from various fictional creatures, scenarios, or other various creepypasta. The beauty of SCP is the growth of the community over the years. Not only do we have a good base of content creators, there has spawned a wave of people that create content based on existing SCPs. Whether or not it's an ARG, it's still a fascinating bit of the internet. Poppy. Poppy is actually a singer, songwriter, and YouTube personality that is the primary character in this ARG. Poppy puts out eerie, off-putting, and awkward videos of various kinds with hidden meanings and symbolism throughout. However, this is just a character that is played by multiple different women who is the brainchild of someone else. This is another ARG with a ton of planning, sister channels and websites, and multiple people behind its works. There is a lot of speculation on its meaning, and you can see a lot of symbolism in many of their seemingly random videos. It can be viewed as a way to mock and parody the idolization of celebrities, as well as the culture surrounding it. To me, this is one of the more thought-provoking and reflective ARGs. Petscop. This is a fictional, unplayable PlayStation game ARG that revolves around somebody posting Let's Play videos of a playthrough of the game. He narrates the game as he plays, giving his thoughts on what he's experiencing. He actually finds a cheat code attached to the game's case, and this is when it warps into a dark and twisted story involving people in the game developer's real life. These people are being reborn through AI being trained to the point of replaceability. The general premise is to quantify a character's traits and choices and then brute force AI coding until it can literally recreate the character in a digital format throughout the game. This ARG also has a ton of backstory with a very dedicated community. There's far too much to go over in this video, but it's worth checking out. Unico Sobrevivente 2027. This ARG started with this video in which these people are claiming to be the last two survivors in Valencia in the year 2027. The footage is a tour of the city in which there are literally no other people in the footage whatsoever. You don't see moving cars or bikes at all. There's unnerving music playing in the background, and the description reads, "Please, someone help us. We're honestly freaking out. We just got back from a walk through the city of Valencia. There is nobody. Just the two of us and birds. No other soul in sight. Just empty streets. We're freaking out. Please. Anyone else still out there?" Today is April 28th, 2027. We woke up at our normal time, had coffee, checked out our emails, and had breakfast, but something seemed off. It was so quiet out there. No car sounds, people walking and talking, nothing. This was later revealed to be a doctored video, digitally removing all the people within the videos. It mostly served as a way to market the creator's travel vlog and website, though it definitely got people's attention. No players online. On the surface, this ARG looks and poses as a simple, downloadable, playable online game from the 80s or 90s era. However, the game's website has a trailer that has a lot of foreshadowing and additional content that is relevant to the game itself. When the game is launched, a VHS tape is played and you see what looks to be a server list for a near 30-year-old game. Of course, all of the servers are empty and it doesn't really matter which one you enter. Upon joining a server, you join a game of capture the flag against nobody and an empty server. When you begin to capture the flags, things start happening. Colors shift, music changes, additional lighting appears. Then shadowy creatures start appearing, and eventually another player seems to join the game. This is when the real story is hinted at, with the game developer's wife being brought back to life. There are a ton of secrets and different endings in the game that can be discovered, and really this is just a fun concept that has developed a bit of a fan following. Hi, I'm Mary Mary. This is a web series about a girl that wakes up and suddenly finds herself in an exact copy of her home, except everything is locked and unable to be opened. She is stuck. Everything is fine during the day, however, at night the girl meets 4 different creatures that mirror certain aspects of herself. Each of them appear to be manifestations of her own deficiencies and insecurities. Eventually, Mary is allowed to leave her house and is able to enter what she calls the garden, where she meets a white version of the creature she found at night. Soon, even this garden corrupts and she's forced to find other ways to cope. The ARG is continued on her Twitter and blog. This is a tremendously jam-packed ARG with many layers to it and is definitely worth checking out. And that wraps up part 1 of this breakdown. Which entries are you most looking forward to? Like and subscribe. See you all in part 2.